Hello everyone, my name is Prithviraj and welcome to my YouTube channel Bionic Bee. In this video, we'll be talking about genetic algorithm. So guys, genetic algorithm is a technique used in mostly computing the solution for optimization and search related problems. And it uses the techniques inspired by biological solutions such as inheritance, mutation, selection, and crossovers, etc. So this is an old technique by Darwin's theory of evolution, but in this video we will be talking about genetic algorithm from the perspective of data science. So guys, before handling any search related or optimization problem, the first thing what we need to know is what is our objective, what we wanted to achieve from this solution or from this optimization. For example, if we wanted to optimize our production and sales, so we need to know that what we are going to do with our production. Like, is it we are going to maximize our production and maximize your sales, or minimize our production and maximize your sales? So we need to have such ideas to write the genetic algorithm. Okay, so objective needs to be very clear. Okay, so once you have your objective, we need to know basic terminology associated with the genetic algorithm. One of them is population. Genetic algorithm begin by initializing a population. This is typically done by generating random numbers. Those random numbers are known as chromosomes, and also each individual chromosome is known as genes inside it. Okay, so and the second terminology what we have is the evolution. Once we have the population initiated, the population is evaluated by assigning a fitness value for each of this individual. So after evolution, the algorithm decides whether it should terminate the process depending on the termination condition what we provide, because the algorithm has because it might have reached a fixed number of generations, or it might have got an adequate solution for the problem statement what we have defined. So when the termination condition is finally met, the algorithm will break out of the loop, and typically it returns its final search result back to the user. So this process is known as evaluation, and the next process and the important one is known as selection. So let's say the termination condition is not met, right? Then the population goes through a selection stage in which individuals from the populations are selected based on their fitness score. So each individual is having a score, and that score is provided by the evaluation function. Based on the score, it is going to select our populations. The maximum the score, the good the population is. And in that way, we will be selecting two populations for the next process. So our next terminology is going to be crossover. So basically, crossover is a process which is applied after selection process, and in this process we switch the features of each individuals we selected in the initial processes, right? So after crossover, mutation is going to apply. At this point, the new population goes back to the evaluation step and the process starts again, right? So and mutation also creates new values and it adds new features inside our individual, and then it evaluates and check whether the new individual whatever is created is good or bad with the help of evaluation process. So the whole workflow of genetic algorithm is going to be like, first it randomly initialize some of the population, then it evaluate the whole population with the evaluation function or the fitness function what you can say, then a selection process, then crossover, then mutation, and then it again evaluate the new generation what is generated through these processes. Okay, and this whole process of selection, crossover, and mutation is going to be in an iterative way till the time it meet our conditions. So we need to hold on to this thought. Once we look at the code, I think terms are going to make more sense to us to where genetic algorithm can be useful in data science. So whenever you are doing any weight optimization or hyperparameter tuning, you can use genetic algorithm flawlessly. So this algorithm is going to give you a good result if the problem statement is more complex and non-linear. For linear, we have LP optimization kind of stuff, but if it's non-linear, then we can use this algorithm. So guys, if we look at the code for example purpose, I have taken regression as a problem statement, I have used deep module to write the genetic algorithm, and from deep I am using algorithms based creators and tools as a module which is available inside it. So from deep I'm using the algorithm based creator and tools, and of course I'm using NumPy for some basic data manipulation. And the version of deep what I'm using is 1.3. You can get this specific version from pip or from Conda as well. So as we know, the underlying algorithm used by regression is gradient descent. So the whole intention of gradient descent is going to optimize the equation of line, which is y equal to mx plus c, in such a way that if we plug in the value of x and if we know the value of m and c, it is going to return the value of y. So if you look at this code I have written manually for gradient descent, we have the equation of line y equal to mx plus c, and we are calculating m and c through the help of derivatives, and then we are updating the m and c with a direction and a step size known as learning rate. Okay, and to evaluate the change of m and c, we have this loss function. So this loss function decides whether the change is good or bad for the gradient descent. Okay, but in our example we are not going to use derivative. In place of derivative and updating the weights, I'm going to use genetic algorithm, which is going to take care of this process, and it is going to generate the value of m and c in such a way that it fits that it satisfies our equation. So now if you look at the value of x and y, what I have done is I have a equation. We don't know the value of m and c in this specific equation, but if the value of x is given as 1, I need the output as 5. If it is 2, I need the output as 7, and similarly if it is 7, I need the output as 17. The whole intention of this exercise is to find the value of m and c, right? And we are using only genetic algorithm to get those values. So guys, as I said, objective needs to be clear. In this case our objective is minimizing the cost function, right? Because once we minimize the cost, then only we'll be able to find the best value of m and c, which is going to if we are going to plug in to this equation, we can get this, right? So here I am passing m value and c value as a list to this function, and the first element of the list is going to be m, and the second element is going to be c. So just to test this function if it is working or not, I have just passed two random values inside the function, and it is returning the cost function or the loss function inside it. Okay, so now we need to prepare the deep module, what is going to give us the best result. So as we know, we are using 1.3 version of the deep module, and the first step what we do is creator. It's a very important tool. So creator basically is allowing to create classes that will fulfill the need of our evolutionary algorithm. So fitness mean is a function what I'm trying to create right now. So if I'll do shift tab over here, I can see creator.create needs 3 arguments inside it. One is name, a base, and some arguments. So name is going to be our fitness mean. Our base is going to be base.fitness, and this fitness needs an argument known as weights. It's either 1, -1, or so the fitness class is an abstract class that needs a weights attribute in order to be functional, and the minimizing fitness is built using negative weights, while the maximizing fitness is built using the positive weights. It means if our objective is to minimize something, we are going to use -1 here in this weights, and if our objective is maximizing, we are going to use +1 in this space. But if we have, let's say, multi-objective, like we want to minimize something and maximize something as well, so we need to return those two objectives here, and we need to mention -1 and 1 respective to our return function. Okay, after creating the fitness min, I'm creating a individual function which is a list, and list is going to be a fitness min function. So basically I'm creating a list which will be containing all these informations. Okay, so what I have done is again toolbox is one more important tool, and it is a creator. Basically, I can say the toolbox is a creator for tools for all sort of action we need in our genetic algorithm, and we are going to pass this toolbox to the genetic algorithm itself. So this toolbox need to register all the attributes of genetic algorithms, all the features of genetic algorithms basically. So we are registering a first feature, which is attribute boolean, and it takes input as numpy dot random. So basically, if you want to create your own attribute boolean which is going to generate weights, you can write your own function and you can pass the function name over here, right? In this case, I'm using numpy to generate the random weights. So if you see, if I'll run this attribute boolean, it is going to return a single value because the default properties of numpy is 1. So now what I'm doing, I am, by using this attribute boolean, I'm creating individual is basically one chromosome. So I'm creating this individual using this attribute boolean. As you can see, I have mentioned attribute boolean over here, and I'm creating two genes. So as I mentioned, genes are part of the chromosome, and I need two weights to be passed to the function. So that's why I need two genes over here, two random numbers, what you can say in computer terminology. So if you see in numpy function, if I pass 2 here, it is giving two randomly generated array. So this is what I'm getting here, right? And this whole setup is used by population. So population is basically containing these two informations inside it. It is going to contain a random number. So basically, in such a way, it going to contain a array, and no, in this case the population is going to contain a list of random numbers, and there will be two random numbers in each and every individual. Okay, so now if we print toolbox.individual, you can see it is generating one set of random numbers. In that way, we are going to create a whole population of these random numbers. Okay, so now the evaluation function, as I mentioned, deep gradient, what we have written here, the first step is going to be our evaluate function. So by using deep gradient, we are going to evaluate how our weights are. Okay, once we generate the population, we'll be using the evaluate function, which is alias of deep gradient, what you can say. We are going to use this function to evaluate our population. Okay, in the similar fashion, I am registering mutation, selection, mating, and everything with all the information I need. These are the default values you can get in deep documentation. It will give you more information regarding this. So guys, in the first stage, I'm creating a population of size 500. If you run the population, it is going to give you a 500 set of random numbers, and each set is going to have two numbers inside it. So these are going to be the value of M and C. Okay, so now Hall of Fame is basically a archive what will store the best results from our population. From each generation, whatever the best result we get, it is going to store that. And the stats, it is basically to calculate the statistics, and we are going to need this in algorithm modules. So here we have the algorithm model, and we are going to use AE sample algorithm inside it. So here we are using AE sample algorithm, and inside AE sample we pass the whole population. Then we pass the toolbox what we have registered here. Then we have CX probability, basically cross section or crossover probability, what you can say. Then we have the mutation probability, and the number of generation is 100. The number of generation is basically what you can think of as a epoch. And stats here is going to be the stats what we have created. And Hall of Fame is going to be HOF, what we have mentioned as Pareto front. And yes, we wanted to see all the information about the model. So once we run it, we will have a Hall of Fame, which will be saving all the good results basically. And if I see the Hall of Fame length is 1, so it have only saved one result, but in your case it can save multiple results as well. Okay, so if I print the first value of Hall of Fame, it is showing as 2, and the second value of Hall of Fame, it is showing as 3. So it means So it means that genetic algorithm has given us two values. So those values, if I'm going to put in this equation, it is going to give us the result what we expect. So now to generate this value of x and y, I have used this function. As you can see, 2 and 3 I have used here to generate those numbers. So now algorithm was able to get get those values of m and c in this case. Okay, so I have created a gradient descent also. In the same fashion, gradient descent is going to run with the specific number of iterations, and it is also going to give us the same result, almost around 2, and this is almost around 3. So guys, this code you can take and you can use it in your specific use case by changing those specific values I have mentioned. And this is going to be helpful for your complex problems mostly. So guys, also we have the deep documentation page. If you need to understand in depth of this specific code, you can just go to the deep documentation, and there you will get a lot of help out. And also like, share and subscribe to my channel if you want to know such beautiful algorithms related to data science in future. Thank you so much guys, have a good day.